Hello, I'm Stuart Holliday and welcome to Meridian House. Behind me is a house that was designed by John Russell Pope, the noted architect who also built the Jefferson Memorial, the National Gallery of Art, and the National Archives at the turn of the 19th to the 20th centuries. This house is considered the finest example of 18th century French architecture in the United States and was placed on the National Register of Historic Places. It represents one of the two homes which occupy the campus of Meridian International Center today. We're in the foyer of the Meridian House. This would have been the receiving room where visitors would arrive and be greeted by the owners of the house, and today we have countless ambassadors, heads of state, and others that have come through these doors. Other features include the library, built perfectly to scale and painted with a beautiful green tone original to the house, the drawing room where the Laughlin family would have gathered, and the loggia, a beautiful example of 18th century French architecture. We're now in the dining room of Meridian House, and the tapestry you see behind me was one of Erwin Laughlin's prized possessions. In fact, the tapestry is a 17th century Mortlake tapestry, which was commissioned by Charles II. This tapestry depicts Alexander the Great meeting Diogenes the skeptic. Welcome to the White-Meyer house. This house was constructed between 1912 and 1915 by noted diplomat Ambassador Henry White, who served as United States Ambassador to France and Italy. And it became the scene of a very important conference in 1917, bringing together the United States government and the French government to plan the American entry into the First World War. As you can see, the house is a beautiful example of Georgian Italianate architecture. Pope designed the house to sit over the city of Washington with grand views and amazing vistas. We're here in the study of the White-Meyer house, which, as you can see, is beautifully paneled in wood. This wood was brought down from Newport, Rhode Island, where Ambassador Henry White maintained a summer cottage. It's now called the Hova study, named for Ambassador John Hova. It has many other rooms, including the library where Edward R. Murrow interviewed Eugene and Agnes Meyer to talk about Eugene's role as an owner of the Washington Post and his views on global issues. Of course, Katharine Graham grew up in this house and spent her childhood years here until she was 17 years old. The White-Meyer house is also home to our KATHARINE galleries, where Meridian conducts cultural diplomacy programs and exhibitions of art from around the world, and the drawing room, used to bring leaders together from different countries, including diplomats, business leaders, and administration officials. Sitting on just over 3 acres in the heart of Washington, John Russell Pope's Meridian House includes amazing gardens that were envisioned to almost function as outdoor rooms. The gardens create an oasis-like effect in the center of Washington, D.C. We're in the beautiful linen grove now, which, as you can see, is quite beautiful and elegant. You might think you were in Europe. The linen trees are both on the front and the back of the houses, and you can see them in formal gardens in Europe, places like Vienna and Paris. The Latin inscription you see above me reads, "Pure the air whence we overlook the city." We are about a mile from the White House and the Washington Monument behind me. We're on the edge of what would have been the city of Washington as Pierre l'Enfant laid it out in the 18th century. The city ended here, and so this high ground, originally farmland, was pioneered by Commodore David Porter of the Barbary Wars, who built the first house here on Meridian Hill. Eventually, after a Civil War camp was here during the 1860s, Mary Henderson had this vision for a diplomatic quarter for Washington here on this hill, and we're very fortunate to have this view and these houses.